Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a while. I basically been trying to, juggle school and actually, I don't know, recording things, but I'm balancing it. I'm at least going to make one part today, and then I have to like study and shiznit. Anyways, let's continue with our lovely story. Feels like Friday for me personally. I guess when you're in college, not many college students have Friday classes. I had one Friday class in the morning. It started at 10, I think. It wasn't that bad. I mean, whatever. It was just one class and then I would go home. But anywho, today feels like Friday to me, even though it doesn't. I'm still going to do a Let's Watch. I just don't know when. So if you guys want to be posted on when I do that, and for instance, what movie or show I'm going to do, you have to follow me on Twitter, which I will have my Twitter handle in the description. I'm not going to like repeat it 1,500 times. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's where you can. Anyways, let's just get to the story. Last time we left off, we heard about this dinner that the old lady rudely just like sort of forced us to. She just sort of went like, oh, you'll be there, and I hope we really can refuse. So everybody just prepare yourselves for a dinner, because I have a feeling it's gonna happen, because Arabella was like, oh my gosh, a dinner, like, yeah. Right now we just heard that the boys are stationed in Bath. It just doesn't sound good when you say it, Bath. It sounds like you're from the South. But for this, I think we're British, so we should probably say Bath. So we basically just were talking to a bare-chested, what's his name? Guy Blake. So, anyways, we're just talking to Foxley now. You have me utterly convinced I shall be there. Beware. The assembly rooms, of course. It is tedious to attend every day, but it is worthwhile going to keep contact with all those in town this year. Jeez, being social is such a job. You have to go to a room every day to just like keep up on the gossip and whatnot. Keeping up with the people of Bath, I guess. Then I shall be delighted to see you there the day after next. Couldn't you just say 2 days from now? Or like, okay. He gives a deep bow. Oh, it's deep. Deep bow. Like how they say deep, like bow, like what? Does his head touch the floor when he bows? Because I would think he has a stomach ache if he's like so hunched over like that. Not good for your back, Foxley, to do so many deep bows. Okay. Good day, ladies. He too moves off to join the rest of his regiment. I am worried that the next scene is going to be us at the freaking dinner. And oh my gosh, you guys, I'm not prepared to meet that man again. Oh my goodness, I'm scared. I am legit, like, this is not me just like exaggerating. I'm picturing that guy now, the son, the one that we call Creeper, and I am just like freaked out about him. Like how he does like a fake smile, but it's like if a snake was smiling at you. I feel like a snake would be cuter though if they were smiling at you. Anyways, I believe I could talk to that man every day for the rest of my life. Well, we know you like him, so that's no shock there. Though she said it with a light enough tone to be meant in jest, I just can't help but feel there is truth. There is truth. You once said something similar about Rupert, and for the most part it was true. My late husband was not the ideal. Ooh. We didn't hear about her husband in previous parts. We just knew that he died, and I don't think we even knew his first name. So she's admitting that her husband was like not her favorite guy. That was by far the biggest understatement I had ever heard. But he certainly kept things lively. She shifts around a little. He's not the same though. I follow her eye line to where she's once again staring at the colonel. I don't believe I've ever met a man such as him or ever shall. She said, sorry, just backtracking. She said something to the effect of, let me go back. He's not the same though. So is the guy still alive? I thought, wait, what? I don't know. Sorry. or ever. Okay, I do not believe I've ever met a man such as him or ever shall. This time there is no jesting to her words at all. I smile at her, turning away for a moment to spot Blake through the crowd. I believe I'm beginning to know how you feel. I curl my arm into hers and we finally head away from the park to return home. The next day is the most relaxing one I've had in some time. Well, thank goodness. And then it's going to be ruined probably by that dinner, because it's going to be like, oh, it's time to go. And she's going to be like, oh, shite, no. I spend it writing to my family, as well as arranging meals and chores with Johnson. But the day after, Arabella ensures I do not forget the appointment with the Colonel. Oh yeah, we're just in the... Are we going to see that woman again? She's going to be like, are you coming to my dinner? Or you're coming to my dinner, because sorry, she doesn't really ask you or invite you. She just tells you where you're going to go, what you're going to do with your life. It is our duty to basically, like, because you know that she, like, her not her husband, sorry, her son was like, I want to marry that girl, like, I love Rose, and, so she was like, I'm going to interview her, I'm going to go see what she's about, like, I'm going to go try to see, like, if she really is this, like, rebel girl, and we're like, yes, we are, and that's why she's invited us to the dinner party, even though you can tell she doesn't really want to. So basically, we're gonna try and seem like the worst person, like, as possible. Which is basically just saying no to everything she says, I guess. The assembly rooms are as busy as usual. Groups linger at the edges, talking loudly about other people's personal lives. Ooh, I like how Rose is like, noticing the gossip. Others traipse around the middle of the hall in a circle, gaining what little exercise they can whilst chatting excitedly. When we arrived, we managed to meet Miss Witter, who invited herself to sit with us, so as she could avoid the company of her aunt. Oh, are we at the same table as Huntington Beach? I say no. She is just so tedious. Oh, is she complaining about her aunt? Yes. Hopefully, so there's gonna be trash talk up in this assembly room, which I think nowadays is just like a YMCA or a rec center, like a recreational center. Just saying, this is kind of like what it reminds me of. Miss Witter has not held back in her description of her chaperone. I'm sure she only has your best interests at heart. Why would I say that? If we're talking about who I think we're talking about, Rose would just like tear her to shreds. I guess she's just trying to act nice, because I guess it's good to not just talk crap about someone's aunt, even if they're talking about crap. It's kind of a thing where it's like, hey, I'm only allowed to make fun of them because I'm related to them. But she continues to pout. I don't think I've ever seen Miss Witter pout ever. Sulking a little at the fact that she has not been allowed to stay the entire afternoon. Oh, don't you agree, Arabella? She's just looking for Foxley. Arabella finally rejoins the conversation, having spent the last hour gazing through the crowds. Yep, she just wants her Foxley. I'm sure you'll be here soon. You should pay attention to those present. Is our company lacking for you? I was just saying to Miss Witter, we should just say, I'm sure he'll be here soon. I'm sure you'll be here soon. Do not fret. Oh, that was such an instant redness across her face. I can't possibly imagine what you mean. I'm sure you can't. You don't have to play with us. We know your heart belongs to a certain fella, a Foxley fellow, okay? You don't have to... We know. I lean forward to continue the conversation when I notice both women's faces drop in surprise. They are glancing behind me so instinctively, I turn. I quickly wish I hadn't. Bitch. Sorry. Stood far closer than should be acceptable is Lord Huntington. I love how they throw in there, like, the way they write about this guy is so funny, because it's like, yeah, he's supposed to be creepy. Can we get a restraining order? Did those exist back then? There had to have some type of thing where it's like, you cannot get within 500 feet of Miss Rose Smythe, or else we will, I don't know, I don't know. I'm sorry. Okay, we already read that. Is Lord Huntington. Good day, Lord. Oh, I would ignore him. He gives a slight bow of his head as the three of us give curtsies. To you too, Miss Smythe. He should not even allowed to be using my name. We don't even really use his name. We just call him Creeper. Once again, he completely dismisses those with me, apparently dining them with... He is so... Have you guys noticed how rude he is? Like, I get it, you have eyes for us, but at least, like, when Foxley is with Arabella and we're present, he, like, goes, oh, hello, ladies. Like, he talks to both of us. He goes, oh, hello, Rose. Like, you're more than welcome to... Like, this guy is supposed to be, like, of high status and have manners and shiznit, but, like, he always, like, pays no attention to other people. He says hi to me... Rose, but he doesn't say hi to other people. Like, learn some manners. I get it, you're all googly-eyed for Miss Smythe, but Jesus, stop. Like, gain some manners. Go back to cotillion. I'm gonna call your mother. I'm joking. We don't have phones, I think. I don't think we have phones. We just have letters. I thought we would join the walkers. Can we please say no? He offers one arm towards me while sweeping the other one out in a gesture towards the mass of people trudging in a circle. Oh, that's a lovely offer, But before I can think of an excuse, he takes my hand and wraps it around. Oh! Arabella, was at least like, how dare you? Like, her face is like, how dare you do that? And his creepy ass face right there. I'll hear no rebel. No means no. You should... I hope Arabella and Witter just totally beat this guy up. Though he smiles, there is a tense tone to his voice that makes me shudder. Yeah, this guy is a psychopath, and he's probably, like, a predator. He's probably committed some crimes, like, and the sad part is, like, I mean, I'm getting a bit real for a moment, but, like, the sad part is, because of his status and because of who he is, he probably does this to women, like, I mean, I don't know what he's done, but I'm just saying, like, this is unacceptable behavior, and if he was to do something really serious, like breaking the law and just so bad, he probably would not get, you know... I mean, I don't know what the laws were about this stuff, but it's just not right. It doesn't matter if it's, like, illegal. He would not receive any backlash, because he could just say, and his mother could just say, like, oh, that wasn't what happened, and, oh, and it's an honor to have me scoop you about the room. Oh, gosh, I wanted to say no to him. I was waiting for, like, the options to pop up, but no. Yeah. I only manage a slight glance back at Arabella before he pulls me towards the walkers. It makes me think of zombies, because that's what they call them in The Walking Dead. Walkers. Oh, now he's all serious. I was not certain whether to attend today, but came in case of seeing... Ew! Must be the winds of fate that we have met. No, it was called... I wish they'd blown elsewhere. I think that's her thoughts is what they... Oh, she said that. What was that? Oh, nothing. Wish they blew you out that window in the top middle that's up there and into outer space, dog. That's where I wish the wind blew you. Out the window, crashing glass, and you into outer space. Anywho, a steady round of whispers began to sound around. Oh no, now people are gonna be like, oh my goodness, they're dating, they're courting each other, or whatever the word is. Us as we walk, gazes inspecting the pair of... Oh no, I attempt to put my arm free of Creeper's, only for his grip to tighten, seemingly without his notice. This is not okay. Like, we haven't even been at the dinner, and this guy is not... We need to, like, take a sword from Blake and just totally defend, like... If his arm is not going to come free off our arm, we're going to chop his arm off. That's extreme, but this is so uncomfortable. Like, just reading this is so uncomfortable, you guys. My mother has been quite impressed with you throughout the season so far. That's BS. She spoke of your genuine nature towards us. Does that mean genuine? Yeah, we keep it real, but, it's obvious we don't like you or your mom. It is a nature most suited to a woman of your class and will most certainly be agreeable for potential suitors. At this point, he leads, ugh! Suitors of which, if I may be so bold, I assume there's only one in particular you have in mind. He's just so creepy. Like, this makes me uncomfortable, you guys. I'm so sorry if this makes anybody else feel uncomfortable, but this is the game. I thought, like, some of this would be funny, because we could just be like, oh, go away, but, like, this is getting, like, too, like, he's getting too close, and he's, like, forcing us to, like, it says that we try to escape, but he just, like, tightens his grip, and we're fragile being, Rose Smythe. Like, we're strong, but, I mean, like, physically, we're probably not that, strong. It's just, he gives a pleased chuckle and pats my head, turning back to the rest of the room. Pats my head? My tension suddenly realizes from discomfort to full panic as I realize what he is saying. I was not fool enough to think I had discouraged the man completely, but now it seems he has actually trained his complete attentions on me. So she's basically saying, like, yeah, I tried to just, like, say, no, I'm not interested, but he's just, like, forcing it upon. Wait, what was she saying? I think that's what she was saying. I stutter a breath, though Creeper barely notices. Just continue with his speech. Of course any future wife of mine would have to learn of the importance of having such as it. Excuse me, we're gonna throw that flower plant over top of your head and just take that fire gate, or whatever they call that. We're gonna stick it in your torso, jeez. I'm just looking for ways out, guys. Like, I don't mean to be, like, so violent, but I'm looking for ways out. I don't want this guy near me. We should tell, like, Foxley or Blake or some guy, even Larry. Larry's a swindler. I mean, we don't know that in this story, but, like, tell them, like, this guy makes me uncomfortable. Can you please, like, if he ever shows up at one of these things and you're there as well, can you please, like, scare him off? Because he's not a soldier. You are. Like, you have that kind of, I don't know, that stance where it's like, go away, leave the lady alone. That I would bestow my graces on such a woman should be praised enough to have her understanding, though. Do you not agree? Ew. Oh, that face. As he asks this, he draws to a stop and smiles down at me. My mind spins. Any reply I could have given stuck on the idea of what an awful future it would be for anyone to be married to such a man. Is everything all right, Miss Smythe? You look a little unwell. Thank goodness, our Prince Charming. He looks like a Prince Charming. Thank you, Blake, for stepping in. Captain. My captain. Oh, my captain. That's how it goes. I wheel around to come face to face with the captain. I'm like, oh, thank good. How dare you interrupt? I'm not going to apologize. I'll be obliged if you can return me to my party. Turn and walk away with Blake. I say nothing to Creeper because he doesn't deserve my words. The words are powerful. Oh gosh, she is angry. Like, look, I mean, you can't force people to love you. Simply snapping my hand from his grasp and transferring it to Blake's. Miss, yeah, you were denied. This is like the third time. Third, at least. No, fourth. Because I think at our house we kind of made it clear, but maybe not so much. It was kind of subtle, maybe. I don't even listen as he calls for me. Just continue to walk. Yeah, exactly. You cannot just send it. Yes, I can. I'm Rose Smythe. I can do whatever I want. Hey, I can do whatever I want. His face looks like it partly melted or something. Like, what? He tries to keep his angered words from being overheard, but it's impossible in a room that echoes. Yes, I hope people know what a piece of Smythe he is. Not Smythe, because he doesn't even deserve to be compared to us. Still, we keep moving far away from him. Yes! Blake does not immediately lead me back to Arabella, who I cannot spot through the crowds anyway. Instead, he walks me slowly about the edge of the room, a silent attention about his person. It's a few moments before he speaks. Can we go outside? I should not. Yes, you should. Excuse me? I should not interfere with your conversation with Creeper. It was foolish of me. You appear uncomfortable, but if you truly are seeking to make a match with such a man as he... No, we're not. He was going with his gut. Person with uncomfortable face. I probably appeared a bit green in the cheeks, queasy, maybe pale, and I probably was just, like, had a look on my face that was like, help. If you see that on a person's face, you should try to help them. It's good to go with your gut, dude. But he's sort of just like, oh, I don't, I'm sorry, but hey, we walked away with you. I hope we explained that to him. His words trail, and I see a small frown crease his brow. Creeper is obviously keen for your hand, and I did not consider that maybe the thing. Ew! Okay, you can say, I would never marry a man such as him. Yes, my interest lies elsewhere. It may be a good match of title and wealth, but it would never be a love match. I'm going to say I would never marry a man such as him. Such a man who would cage any woman unlucky enough to become his wife. Yes! The tension suddenly eases from the captain's face. I believe you may be right. I know I'm right. I'm Rose Smythe. His idea of marriage is far from what it should be. I agree. What do you believe it should be? A marriage should be freeing to both parties, not a prison for one. Oh, that's beautiful. He suddenly clears his throat and speeds his steps. See, you got heart, and I love that. I believe Lady Ashburn is just ahead. Rose. She rushes towards us when she's like, girl, something went down, didn't it? Thank heavens you managed to detach yourself from Creeper. Thank you. Your focus shifts to Blake, only now realizing my arm curled into his. What a delight to see you, Captain. The same to you, Lady Ashburn. They exchange formalities before he takes a step away. Now you will return to your company, I shall return to mine. Aw, but you saved me. Can I give you a peck on the cheek? Be like, take a token of my gratitude. Good day. Aww. We have a knight in shining armor, a Prince Charming, saving us. What a confusing, serious type of man. Yeah, but he's cool. Like, I like that he's... You could tell, like, he has... Like, he's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But he's like, but then again, in his head, he's like, she looked really uncomfortable. Like, go with your gut, guys. Though I must say, all his brooding intensity seems to be aimed in your direction. If anything happens, like, if Creeper does anything to our captain, I'm gonna lose my mind. My roast mind. I am sure I don't know what you mean. Anyway, he is not so brooding or tense once you come to know him. Yeah, he's actually pretty gentle, but he says beautiful things. Like, marriage shouldn't be a prison. Like, yeah. And are you planning to know him better? I don't reply, though I can't help the smile widening on my lips. Coy does not suit you, Rose. Her light tone fades to a more serious one as she pulled me a little to one side. And what of Creeper? F Creeper? No one gives a frick about Creeper. I heard talk that he was making some quite bold statements during your walk. And your poem, Arabella, is correct. Bold, it might be a bit of an understatement. The remembrance of it makes me shudder, and I swallow down my unease. I hope my leaving him in the middle of the room will be an obvious enough rebuttal to any advances he thought to show me. Yes, that was quite a bold statement you made yourself. Yeah, bold statements met with a Rose Smythe bold statement equals we win. Her worries dissipate a little, and I'm happy to see her smile once again. Yay! Certainly walking away with another man will have made it clear to him. Yes! It is good that if that resolves it. I would not wish any person in future with him, not after what I have heard of how he deals with situations in his life. Ooh. Come, let us enjoy the rest of it. There's more to that story. He probably, like, I don't know, skins baby rabbits or something. Sorry if I put that in your head, sorry. But, he probably does some crazy crap. Like, if she were to ever have an episode where she was, like, explaining the things that he deals with and everything, we'd be like, let's look up the psychopath symptoms in childhood / adulthood And he's probably going to check off, like, all of them, because holy Rose Smythe. Ugh. With an infectious brightness, she leads me to the table where tea and cakes have been... Well, tea and cake! Yay! What kind of cake? The next week is a flurry of social engagements, most of them made by Arabella. Each day we pass by the park in case the soldiers are... Oh, yeah. On those days, she's quick to wander off Voxley, leaving me and Blake to converse on our own. Yay! At first, I was worried of the awkwardness of the situation, but after a couple of days, it was as though meeting together was the most natural thing in the world. Blake's stiff demeanor gradually faded, and I'm pleased that his relaxing in my presence allowed me to know him better. Yeah. For such a quiet, tense man, he was surprisingly passionate on many various topics. You see, when people are quiet and they are nervous type people, you know that they're comfortable with you when they're able to talk about certain things and joke around. Like, I mean, I have a friend who's kind of like very quiet, but once you are talking to him and hanging out with him and he's comfortable with you, he like lets out these funny jokes and they have interests, and it's cool that he's comfortable with us and he's talking about it, and he's like got passion in his soul. I think one of his passions is Miss Smythe, if you're thinking what I'm thinking. A full week quickly passes, and each morning I was growing even more eager for our meetings. Oh, God. Oh no. When the night of Lady Thomasina, what did we call her? Huntington Beach? Excuse me. Huntington Beach is an actual beach. I'm just using it as a bit of an insult. Yeah, because I'm horrible. Lady Tommy gathering arrives the week after that. The officers are kind enough to escort us. Well, at least I have an escort. There was no wind that night, but still the coolness of the evening settles against us. I give a slight shiver. Are you chill, Miss Smythe? I don't have a chance to respond before he tugs me a little closer, my hand wrapped further into his arm. Aww, he's cute. He's a cute man. I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying this. Thank you, Captain. He is more formal than he has been for the last couple of weeks, and I wonder if it is due to being more in public. Still, I cannot help but enjoy this company far more than I probably should. Are you looking forward to tonight's gathering, Captain? He's probably like, nope. Arabella has not failed to remind me every day of what an honor it is to be invited to one of Lady Thomasina's private parties. I admit the honor of it all is a little lost on me, but I am glad to accompany you to it. And please protect us. Hope you brought your sword, Cap, because you may need to chop that guy's arm off if he tries to walk with me again. I'm just saying, but I'm glad to accompany. Okay, here's it. And so much as though I would not wish you or Lady Ashburn to be walking alone in such a, especially when that man is there. Of course, Captain, I understand you meaning quite well. He gives a smile, one that makes my heart pound a little faster. Keep up, Guy, or we'll leave you behind. Foxley calls back to his friend, whose expression quickly straightens. We arrive outside Lady Thomasina's residence, a rather tall, imposing building situated on the she lives right near where Larry lived. He lived in the Crescent. I always want to call it a croissant. I don't know why. Even though a croissant is a bread product. It's like a pastry. But crescent is like a shape. Like in a moon especially. Anywho, let's continue. Alright, so we'll go into the croissant. I can't help but feel the shadowing presence of the house suits the occupants. Ooh! Dig. That was a that was a dig. By George, it's quite the house. How did that saying, like I said, by George, I think he's got, why George? Does it have anything to do with George Washington? Huh. I don't know. I have to look that up later. Indeed, the Huntingtons are quite wealthy and are not ashamed to show as much. Maybe they should be a little less obvious. I feel a sudden tension grip the captain as, almost a caption, as we walk closer to the house. Guys, let's just say a little prayer. You don't have to be, just set out good vibes. That, nothing too crazy happens. Oh gosh. Knock on wood. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it that something like nuts happens. Gosh. Inside we are greeted by a selection of servants who scurry to take our coats and hats. Of course. Whatever. Jeez. Our dress is better, sorry. I like how he looks like Creeper looks totally uninterested. Like, why did you bring him? Why? Is it giving you flashbacks of when you were rejected? We are led into the drawing room where Lady and her son, the Creeper, are standing to greet guests as they arrive. Creeper doesn't bother to disguise his boredom until Blake and I reach them. God. He's like, Then his expression shifts quickly, his gaze darting to mine. Don't look at him in the eyes. Don't look at him. Look at the beautiful... I'll give him that they have pretty cool windows. That's interesting. Almost like a firehouse. I don't know. Look at the pretty flowers, okay? Look at the pretty flowers, Rose, okay? The sound... Oh, she's always whipping that... Snapping it. That fan. The sound of Lady's fan snapping shut is enough to distract him, though. Miss Smythe, Captain Blake. Yeah, that's right. We have a captain. We're not with your stupid son. Boom. Snaps. For us. We exchange formal greetings. It's good of you to join us. Is it? Is it? Are we just a reminder that we don't want... Oh, I thought it was the Lord. the other... Oh, but still, is it? Ruined my bit. Ruined my zone. Is it Lady Huntington? Is it Beach? Huntington Beach? The officers are most honored to be invited to this selected gathering, lady. Though he speaks the words, there is little emotion behind them. He rehearsed that in the carriage ride over here. I open my mouth to respond also when a hand curls around my own. Ew! How dare you? And Captain, I hope you brought your sword. Captain, you may have to use it. Chop his fingers off. Chop his hand off. Chop his arm off. I have been most eager to see you again, Miss Smythe. Allow me to introduce you to some of the more illustrious guests this evening. Before I have a chance to reply, he yanks me away. Don't yank my arm out of my socket, okay? I need that arm. Okay? It's how I do things. Like reject you. I barely managed to glance back at Blake, who was frowning deeply in Creeper's direction. Save me, please. After being dragged to the other side of the room, I finally snap my hand from his grasp and draw to a stop. Come, I shall introduce you... Okay, here we go. That was very rude of you to dismiss Captain Blake. I thank you for the offer, but I would like to return to my escort for this evening. I arrived with Captain Blake. Oh! Deep cut. I arrived with Captain Blake this evening. That is very rude. Okay, it is rude that he did that, but I'm going to say I arrived with Captain Blake. May I remind you... I'm getting so sassy right now. We're with Captain Blake this evening, so it is unfair for me to leave him as soon as arriving here. How sweet you are to show such care and pity to him. I don't pity him. I like him. Unlike you, who have to force people to go places, because you're a psycho, dandy mott. But a woman of your importance should not fret over someone of his... excuse me, he's a captain. Do you care only for titles? Creeper? Sorry. Of course not. Yeah, you do. I don't have a title. I'm just Rose Smythe. I'm given title... Let's see. My titles, self-given, are Picnic Escape Artist, Rebel, Always Right. I'm joking. Right. What was the other one? Professional Third Wheel. Yeah, that's it. There are considerations of wealth and lineage to also consider. I am no fool in business. And what business would you be referring to exactly? Why, the most important business of all, Miss Smythe. He's gonna say, like, love or something. Marriage. Ew. This is not how you... guys, or anybody, like, you know... This is not how you pick up women. I don't care... It's not how you pick up women back in the day. It's not how you pick up women now. You don't treat marriage like a business. Don't do it. Promise. This is not how you're supposed to treat women. Gosh, this boy needs help. But I don't know if the mental help even exists in this time period. I hope it does, because he needs help. He's creepy, and he's obsessive and stalkerish, and he has like these like predator-ish like behavior, and it's scaring me. The word from his lips seems to echo about my mind, and I have to stop myself from swaying, because I'm about to faint, because this is too much. For anyone shocked at what such should be such a joyous thing in lives, for two people as little more than lifeless business arrangements, I frown deeply, flicking my gaze up to meet creepers. You forget that a business arrangement must be agreed upon by both parties. Can we just think, okay, Rose, boom. I love her. Thank you. I have to sign the contract that you give me, okay? If I rip it to shreds, there's no deal. There's no business arrangement. Boom. He's gonna say, oh, but you will. Or, oh, but you will like me. Just something to that effect, in that ballpark, if that makes any sense. So I'm afraid you will have to find someone new for your partnership. Before I lost my nerve completely, I spin on my heel and head back across the room. How many times does this guy have to be rejected? Like, Arabella's like, hopefully you leaving him in the middle of a room in front of people was, like, enough to put an end to that. And I'm like, yeah, hopefully it was. But apparently not. This guy has been rejected, like, 4 times at least. Like, twice in the first meeting. And then, like, twice more. 3 of those times, I'm not really counting the time his mother and him went to my house, but I was kind of more rejecting her, like, in general, but, like, because she's, like, asking me personal questions, which is not appropriate in my own casa de Smythe, what the heck. And this guy's been rejected, I guess, like, 4 times, and 3 of those times were in his own house. We are savage. We are rebel. We are strong. We are mighty. We are Rose Smythe. Okay. Feeling a little more secure behind a small group of people, I managed to spy a familiar figure up ahead. Guy Blake, please. One that also seems to be doing their best to hide behind the crowd. Captain Blake, Miss Smythe. I moved towards him, thankful for his welcome company. I was unsure if I would see you again this evening. Oh, Creeper seemed quite determined to have your full attention. Oh, do not remind me of the man. I simply hope my latest refusal is actually understood. Thank you, Rose. I hope you refused him? Well, he didn't actually ask for my hand, but the intent behind his words was most obvious. I just pray this time the meaning behind my own statement was obvious enough. His face lights into the brightest of smiles. One I am surprised to see so suddenly. Would you care to dance, Miss Smythe? I would love to dance. Yet another surprise. It's another surprise because he was usually like, oh, I'm not much of a dancer. But you were so hesitant to dance at the opening ball. That was not because I didn't want to dance, but because I assumed you would not want to dance with me. You handsome fellow. Why not? It was a most pleasant surprise when you accepted. I am glad I did it. It was one of the highlights of the ball. I would be delighted. Aww, you better not come in, Creeper. We will cut off your arm and your everything. I hope you brought your sword, Captain. It takes my hand lightly, it's not slightly, I'm sorry. The gentle touch enough to send a pleasant shiver coursing over my skin. Yes! In the middle of the room, a couple of seats have been pushed to the sides to make space for dancing. Let's get down. Let's get jiggy with it. I think that's I don't know. That's proper. I don't know. We line up next to Foxley and Arabella, the couple smiling at each other every chance they get. When the music starts, we step up into the dance, Blake's hand not moving from mine until the very last moment. If I may ask such a question, why did you refuse Creeper's advances? They used the word business when breaching the topic. My affections do not sway in his direction, but in others. I could never have featured with someone so arrogant and conceited. I think this one, the second one, will actually be like saying like I don't like him, I like you in a way. I just don't like him. Like, yeah, he is rather arrogant and conceited. We're just gonna say, should we say this? Is that like revealing too much? I'm gonna say, should we throw? This is because I would say a combination of things. I would say like he is a horrible person, plus he acts like marriage is a business, and I like somebody else. Like I would say like a combination. That's the problem. It's like sometimes it's like, yeah, but I want to say this too. I'm gonna say this one. I can never have a future with someone so arrogant and conceited. It is something I would not wish on anyone. But if I may ask, what sort of person is that you see in the future? Oh, you're very curious on the subject, Captain. I'm sorry for your well-being, I admit, and I worry for your well-being, I admit, and for what life holds for you in years to come. Genuine concern and interest sounds through his voice. My future lies with a man who takes an interest in my life. Aw, his gaze flickers up to meet mine in understanding of my words. At that moment we paused before each other, his body barely an inch from mine. Oh, I can assure you, Miss Smythe, I have a very keen interest on the subject. We're flirting, yeah, oh Captain, my Captain. He moves back with the beat of the music, my body barely managing to catch up with the other ladies, as his words swirled round my head. I could barely hear the tune any longer, my heart beat sounding so loudly in my ears. Ooh. Serious love! As we continue to dance, each small touch we manage only makes my body react further. I barely remember that there are others around us. It's not until I hear a faint sound of whispers behind us as we wait for a couple to pass us by that I pay attention. Oh, Miss Smythe and Captain Blake make the fine pair, do they not? They're gonna show Creeper and be like, yes, I've heard talk that they have been spending a fair amount of time together. A good match, maybe not a title, but certainly his accomplishments may make it so. Who cares about titles? And such a handsome couple. I can't help but smile, the smile spreading on my face. When I glance over, I find Blake already gazing down at me. His expression is bright and hopeful, and I can only assume he overheard the chatter too. The chatter that took place in Creeper's house. Boom goes the dynamite. When I return my focus to the dance, I am aware of the eyes on us, but particularly on a narrowed pair glaring out from the crowd. The two people. Creeper's strict attention is completely focused on Blake, who I'm thankful doesn't seem to notice. I suddenly wonder if Creeper had overheard the whispers. Oh, he heard it. They weren't really whispers. They were like, probably, I don't think they were whispers. They probably were just like inside voices. Oh, sorry. I should go in a dot in order to enjoy the rest of the dance. I'm almost forgetting the moment as Blake leads me back into the line of partners. That was even more pleasurable than expected. Indeed it was. Maybe we should make it a habit to dance often when in each other's company. An agreeable arrangement. Do you guys get the connection of that line? Beautiful. She agrees to this arrangement, but it's not business. It's love. After the dancing, dinner is announced. He's gonna poison our dinner. He's gonna poison someone's dinner. Because he's crazy. We head into the large dining room and seat ourselves in order. Oh gosh, there's an order. Just let us sit next to the people we know. Because sometimes don't you hate it when you go to like a wedding or some sort of like big like party and they're like, oh, I seated you. And it's just like, you're sitting next to some person like you don't know, and you're like, why is my sister over there? Like, I can sit next to my sister. Why is my cousin, who I've known all my life, over there, like, across the table, like, farthest right? Like, I'm sitting next to Mrs. Schmo, who I've never met, and Mr. I don't know, these people I don't even know, and they want to, like, we're supposed to make small talk. I think it's a way to get people to, like, talk to each other. Like, get to know my cousin's aunt's brother. It's like, I don't care. I don't know these people. I'm not against meeting new people, but it's like they seat you in these stupid things when you're like, I don't know these. I was at a bar mitzvah. I was seated at a kid's table. I wasn't even next to my cousin, who I knew. It was my cousin's bar mitzvah. He was at the table. He's talking to his buddies. It wasn't even next to my little sister. I think she was even at a different table, probably because she was younger. No, she was the same table, I think. But my mom was seated next to people she didn't know. Luckily, she was seated next to my uncle, so I guess that makes her brother-in-law. Yeah, seated next to my uncle, and some people were seated next to others that they knew, like, and were family and or friends, like people that they known for a while. And like, it's like, who are these children? I don't know who they are. And they're lame. I remember thinking, like, this one kid was just, like, some of the kids were just so like, there was just, like, little kids, and there were just, like, kids that were, like, I don't know, I was about 10, 13, just, like, just, like, stupid little kids that are just doing stupid things, being obnoxious. Anyways, yeah, that was my rant. So, we seat ourselves in the order a lady has set. Lovely. I can't help at being placed beside Creeper. The Arabelle is seated the other side of me. Oh, she's like across. Is that what it is? Across the thing? Creeper is surprisingly quiet, though a couple times he glances in my direction. Don't look at him. Burn your chair. And more than a few times his hands accidentally fumble into mine as we reach for a drink. Oh gosh. Purell, but they don't have that. I'm gonna go bathe in Purell. That's what Sheldon was saying last night. I was watching last night in Big Bang. I'm gonna go bathe in Purell. By the end of the meal, I began to wonder if my resolute refusal still hadn't been. It probably isn't. I'm probably gonna have to kill him. Joking. When the food is done, the men forego staying alone, instead we all file back into the drawing room, where a game of Buffy Gruffy is suggested. I'm thinking of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm thinking of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sorry. I don't know what Buffy Gruffy is. I don't know very many card games. I've played Texas Hold'em before, but I don't remember how to play. I played poker, I played poker. I know how blackjack is played. I know Go Fish. There's probably other ones that are solitaire, but I'm not really a big solitaire fan. I like Spider Solitaire. Anywho, I think that is a wonderful idea. I've not played Buffy Gruffy since Rupert. Oh, that's sad. Was alive. That's sad. As the seats are arranged about the room, I take the opportunity to lean towards Arabelle and ask just what Buffy Gruffy is. Oh, yeah, I've already really been asked that I had 2 long rows. Oh, it's a new card game. They're just like, oh, it's what all the people in society play. You don't know. Though she chides me, I can see her excitement at getting to explain. Buffy Gruffy is where one person is blindfolded. Oh no, and the others sit in a circle around. This is not good. This is not good. The blindfolded person then walks around the circle, stopping before someone. Ooh, do we kiss? Of course, the only way they can determine if they are stopped in front of someone is to touch them. Oh, I don't want to play. We're gonna be violated by Creeper. I don't want to play. I don't want to play. I'm scared. I said in playful tone lines. Why is this fun? Once the blindfolded person has chosen someone, they must then ask them questions to see if they can guess who it is they are stopped in front of. You have to try and disguise your voice when that person is asking questions, or they might easily guess just from your tone. So we go like this. It's quite simple, really, and prone to much hilarity, as the questions can become somewhat bold at times. All in the name of fun, though. If you say so. I give an uncertain nod and move with Arabelle to take a seat. I'm nervous. Oh, please allow me to go first. Go. Why not go first? Just first go. Whatever. The young woman eagerly leaps forward as the blindfold is brought out. The man holding it gives a nod and smile before she turns around and the material is tied around her eyes. The young girl stumbles forward, her hands outstretched and flailing around like an insect. It's not long until she bumps into someone sat before her. Arabella and I barely hold back a laugh at the sour expression on Miss Witter's target. Yes! I have found someone. Are you a female? Yes. Our hostess does not even bother disguising her voice, though it matters little to Miss Witter, who's still beaming an excited smile. Once she touch her boobs, are you a female? You sound like an old woman. Are you old? Roasted. Are you old as hell? Like, the time I cannot help the small chuckle, though seems I am not the only one. I suppose. She's in denial. You are not my aunt, are you? I am most certainly not. And I believe with that foolish guess you turned us over, Miss Witter. Miss Witter tugs off the blindfold, her expression instantly dropping. She lays eyes on Lady, staring back at her. Oh, Lady Thomasina, I apologize. Please do not, Miss Witter. She waves the young woman away with a surprising amount of deference. A couple of rounds pass between strangers I barely know before Arabella is brought into the center. Her focus falls on Foxley, who gives her a wide smile, but their gaze is cut off when the blindfold is tied about her eyes. She spun on the spot a couple times and let go, her body wobbling a little at the sudden stop in motion. She moves about the center of the circle, obviously on the search for the Colonel. At her moment, she manages to stumble on the edge of her dress. No! To help her up and point her in the direction of Foxley. Do nothing. Cough is to the left. Cough. Let's just help her up. Point her in the direction. Because this is less like the cough is like, it's just like, it's obvious. As she trips, I rush forward and grip her shoulders to steady her. In doing so, I almost turn her around and lean close to her. He's right in front of you. She gives a small nod and sits off in a straight line. I take my seat, few seeming to notice my intervention. Okay, cool. Foxley gives a wide grin as Arabella comes to stand before him, her hands reaching out and touching his chest to ensure she's found someone. It seems I have found a target. Indeed you have. He tries to make his voice with a small rasp, though it can't hide the delight in his tone. You are male? Yes. There's a small chuckle around the room at the obvious answer. Did you arrive here with someone this evening? I did. And were you pleased to arrive with that person? Most wholeheartedly. Aw. Do you think you'll continue to attend events with such a person for the season? I would go wherever she would lead me for the rest of my life, if she wished. The suddenness of his declaration is enough to make my jaw slacken, though it seemed to hit Arabella hard enough to make her quite still and very silent for the longest of moments. It seems a lifetime before she finally stutters a response. Oh, you must be Colonel Foxley. I could see her swallow hard as she tears the blindfold away. How well you know me already, Arabella. Their gazes meet, the two seeming to have a silent exchange amongst the awkward applauding from the rest of the room for correct guessing. Oh, she cheated. We helped her. Sorry. Her shock finally breaks to a smile, and the Colonel lets out a visible sigh. As she opens her mouth to speak, a young man hurries forward and snatches the blindfold from her hand. So who is next? Oh, Foxy suddenly stands from his place and steps forward. That would be my friend here. He turns half his body against a gesture at Blake, who eyes go wide. Oh no, he better find us. Like, imagine he finds Creeper. You must be Creeper. Do you freak women out? Yank. Foxley, no. But the Colonel yanks him in the center of the circle, ignoring his protests. Material is tied about his face, though I can still see his expression isn't one of willing participant. Foxley spins about to die and pulls him to a stop. Colonel whispers something in Blake's ear, then twists him suddenly in my direction. With a small smile, Blake begins stepping unsteadily towards me. He shovels forward, stopping instantly the moment his legs touch mine. The contact sends a shiver coursing through me, though I do my best to not let it show on my face. You are female? He asked the question with so much uncertainty I almost laughed. I am. I deepen my voice a little, but he obviously still recognizes me as a wide smile appears on his face in my response. Do you enjoy dancing? So much so I have agreed to dance a certain person at every engagement. This one. I enjoyed it so much, in fact, that I have an agreement to dance with a certain person at every engagement. And this certain person is a partner you would care to have for future engagement? Most certainly. He steps a little closer, my heart speeding as he does so. And do you have eyes the color of the most beautiful of green meadows? He's... Ooh, Captain. The question makes me start. The words so unexpected from the normal guarded captain that it takes me a moment to realize he spoke them. Before I can answer, he continues. Do you have hair that gleams like the finest satin in the sun? A sudden heavy, tense quiet falls over the room, and I don't have to look to know there is a wide, excited smile on Arabella's face beside me. And do you the most sweet of natures enough to charm even the sternest of hearts? There is such depth to his words that I can barely breathe beneath them. It is not until a nudge from Arabella that I finally manage to speak. I have not been told such before, no. Do you wish to be someone who would tell you such every day? Before I can reply, he straightens himself up and adopts a stern expression once more. Are you Miss Smythe? Yes. I barely squeak out the reply, this answer being one I can actually give. He pulls away the blindfold and gazes down at me, any breath I manage to gasp, becoming even more strained. The young man from before takes the material, though Blake hardly seems to notice. If you'd be so kind as to take your seat, Captain. Blake continues to gaze at me for a moment before ripping his focus away and giving a nod. He heads back to his seat, leaving me such a daze I can hardly string together a coherent thought. And out next, give me that boy. No! Sorry. Oh, sorry. If I had a thud, there was a drop of my microphone. A familiar sharp tone cuts through my reverie, and I snap my gaze up to see Creeper snatch the blindfold from the boy's grasp. I don't know why I'm southern. Oh, he's like... Creeper ties the blindfold sloppily around his own face, obvious to everyone that he could see through it. Yeah. No one mentions it. He hasn't spit on the spot and says striding off straight away. I freeze for a moment as he moves my way. But an even stronger tension overtakes me when he reels around and comes to face Blake. Are you male? Yes. Do you wear a uniform? Yes. Do you deserve that uniform? Oh, we're gonna choke him with that. Blindfold. Choke him. Hush falls over the crowd at Huntington's question, everyone realizing there is conversation going. Where this conversation is going, but also not intervening and offending the host's son. I believe. Were you born into this society? No. Were you born to trade? I wait for a captain's response, my throat so tight I can't even speak to intervene. His eyes glance to mine for a moment before shifting away completely. No. I'd heard from Blake himself that his father was in trade, so his answer comes as a shock to not only Huntington, but myself. Then where were you born? I don't know. I was raised an orphan, but in my teens I was taken in by a family who do work in trade. See? You dick, he's a freaking orphan. A long, very pleased smile settles on Huntington's face, and I can guess as to why. To be raised as the son of a trader into this society is one thing, but to not know your lineage at all is unthinkable. I don't care, I like him. Have you been in society before the season? No. I'm amazed at the captain's resolve at keeping his expression emotionless, but I've come to know him well enough I can see it beginning to crack. Foxley moves to defend his friend. Blake puts a hand on the man's arm to stop him. How did you afford a commission to the military? I did not. There is a murmur of voices around the room, one that are not as favorable as they were at the beginning of the evening in Blake's direction. I was paid for by a friend, and I was promoted from them. And what did you do to earn those promotions? I worked hard. Exactly. Is that so? Were they not given to you because your superiors were told they would need to persuade more people of trade to join the military, and giving them a false hope of being promoted into high society would be good enough to tempt many? Or maybe they were just promotions of pity. What an idiot. So I ask again, do you deserve that uniform? Blake's focus snaps to meet Huntington's, who must be able to feel the strength of the glare through his blindfold. Finally, Blake rips his gaze away, snapping to his feet and giving a small bow. Excuse me. He moves between the cage of chairs and rushes from the room. I do not hesitate to follow, grabbing my cape as he leaves the house completely. Okay, we're probably going to end it after we talk to Blake, because that guy was a total D-I-C-K. I find Blake outside of the house, pacing back and forth a few steps along the street, anger evident on his face. Captain Blake? You should return inside. Are you alright? That all got rather. You should return inside. Are you alright? He stares at me uncertainly for a long moment before turning away. I am quite well. Please go back in time, Miss Smythe. I'll be missing you. I am worried for you. I should not go back until I am sure you are well. Well? How could I ever be well amongst those people? I wonder that you can stand to be around them. Some of those people are my friends and yours too. My words make him start for a moment, his anger dissipating a little. You may be right, but that does not excuse some of the behavior I have seen from others. No, it does not. He begins pacing again, his obvious upset not contained for long. And there's nothing I could do to defend myself against such a man. To think I would not even be here if not for you. What is your meaning? He continues to pace in front of me, his focus trained on the ground. I knew you'd be here, and I needed to see you again. He draws to a sudden stop in front of me, obvious shock on his face at his outburst. What you said to me during the game, did you mean it? It doesn't matter now. He turns straight away. Of course it matters. Wait. I used to have to stop him before I even think what I'm doing. Connection. Yeah, what is up with these? These close-ups are not as impressive as the other ones. I grip his arm to keep him before me, his body so close to mine I can feel his heat. Long lashes frame his half-lidded eyes as he gazes down at me. Silence reigns between us, my heart pounding so hard against my chest it seems to have stolen any words from me. He's so near I should be able to feel his breath on my skin. It's then I realize he's holding it. His body is tense beneath my fingers. I notice him bite his lower lip for a moment. It's then he lets out a long sigh. I shouldn't be so glad that you stopped me. Yes, you should. No, you deserve more than me, someone of your own station. For the last time, I do not care about all that. I am not to find my station, neither are you. It's not about station or what we deserve. It's about happiness. Yeah. Gives a hollow smile through the expression quickly fades. I wish I could believe as you do. But we must live in the reality of this world, and that means being far apart in society. It was merely a dream to think I could stay by your side in this world. He gently pushes my hand from his arm and takes a wide step back. Good evening, Miss Smythe. He gives a deep bow, this simple action sending a pain streaking across my chest. Snaps up, turns on his heel, marches back into the house. As he does, he passes by Arabella, making her way towards me through the doorway. Oh, God. Oh, dear, obviously he's still upset over Lord Huntington's vicious prank. And you don't look any better. Are you quite all right? Did something happen? Thank you for worrying, but I'm fine. He's just so stubborn. A small reminder of reality, that's all. I would just like to head home. If that is agreeable with you. Worry tense is her face, but she's kind enough to not press any further into the matter. Of course, most everyone is heading out now anyway, so it is good timing. She takes my arm, we head back inside to retrieve our things before quickly heading home unescorted. Let's save right here. This is a long part, I know. We'll see you guys in the next one. We're gonna probably have to take care of frickin' what's his name? Creeper. And we're also gonna have to get our man. Having a wonderful night. I'll see you guys soon.